Welcome to the Kicking Ass with Tanner Stone podcast. Today, I'll be interviewing Birdman. He's my personal trainer and an all-around great guy. He has been kicking ass in life because 3 years ago today, he's become an entrepreneur and just is the most positive guy I know. Let's get right into it. We're already rolling.
We're already rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even get my... All right. What to do, everybody? This is your boy, T. Jones, a.k.a. Birdman, Live Through Me Fitness, and I'm here with Tanner Stone. Tanner Stone. Kick ass. He gave me a shirt. It's over here. I got my shirt. Hold on.
You gotta switch. We gotta switch.
We gotta switch?
The podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
we gotta switch. Live Through Me Fitness. We have Tanner Stone. Hey, now this is what I gotta tell y'all. This business with Live Through Me Fitness, Tanner, the Tavaris, they are a OG. They was fitness with me before I was all of this what I am now. So I'm let y'all know y'all one of the OGs, and we have Tanner here, and we've been going at it for like 4 years now. 4 or 5. Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah, and the fact that we've been doing that. And the business of Live Through Me Fitness and what it is now, I can tell you a little bit how that goes and what is going on. This is going to be an interesting podcast. Y'all tune in. Check it out. I don't see what my man Tanner has for me. He's leaving me after this year, going to college. He's in Tampa. But let's see what he has going on, what he has me to say. All right, Tanner, so shoot, what we talking about? What we got going on?
Are you the host or am I the host? Whoa.
I mean, however you want to play it. All right. So
thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You have been such a big role model to me throughout my whole high school career because any sport I want to do, I've been switching sports so much and you're always there to coach me through it and just take me through whatever I want to be. And I've been through every single body weight. I've been fat, skinny, and my first time really meeting Birdman, my first time meeting you was I went to a gym that you used to work for that you stopped working for like 3 years ago today.
Yep.
Yeah,
correct.
and I'm not going to say his name and give him credit. But yeah, I went to that gym and I was pretty upset that I went there to work with the owner of that gym and they put me with Birdman. I didn't know who you were at the time. And I was like, come on. Yeah, I'm going here. I want the head guy. And then they put me with you. My first workout with you was hard as shit. I remember we went outside, we did the dumbbells, the stairs. And after that, I just knew that I wanted to train with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and that has been quite the experience. Like I said, Tanner being one of the OGs of what I am today. That's why I do anything and everything for his family at any time. When they call me, I come running. So to be here and be able to do this podcast that he started, and cause seeing what he had the growth, it's the growth. That's the thing what I love to see, especially with a lot of my kids and students that I train. I see the growth of where you were and where you're at now. And like I said, so many different sports. I mean, I would tell him all the time, I wish he would pick a sport and stay at. Now he's a model. He went from basketball, track, MMA, now to model. So, I mean, it's been quite the journey as he's telling you guys. But we have enjoyed it. And any journey that he took so far, I support it. And he has that talent to just be naturally successful in it because he go and gets it. I mean, I still remember all our late night sessions. Me, sauna workouts, being at different high schools on the track, running on different high school tracks, and preparing them from different sports, whatever sport he chose at the time. So, yes, just being about that and in the fitness industry of health and wellness if you didn't know, it took such a dramatic turn since COVID. Since COVID, everybody's now focused on their health and wellness. Major, everybody know that the story of COVID. Some people didn't make it, some people did. Borderline health. So it really taught you to be more about your health. It taught you to be that PE teacher that you're probably skipping school for is important, as you can tell. So, and then of course now on the fitness side of it with the athletes, the biggest thing probably out right now is also NIL deals, where kids or young adults are making their dreams come true before they even go pro. So with that being said, now people are investing into personal trainers or anything in the fitness and health and wellness industry at an all-time high, definitely ever since 2020. But I feel like I took over Tanner's podcast here. I'm a newbie, but I'm gonna let him tell me what he has to ask for me. What questions you got for me, Tanner?
You're here to talk. You can talk as much as you want, but
all right.
I just want to start off by saying, how do you get the name Birdman?
Well, I actually got the name Birdman since I want to say about second grade of elementary, and I got the name Birdman from football, and it became the reason why I had the name Birdman. It came from me playing football. It came when I was playing D-line. Football back then was different than what it is now. So I was playing D-line, and I was playing D-end, some D tackle, but mostly D-end. And I can get to the quarterback and sack him so fast, or hit the running back in the backfield so fast before the play really even sets up. And because of that quickness and that speed, the name Birdman stuck with me, coming from Boynton Beach Bulldogs, which I'm also a coach today. Everybody wants me for strength and conditioning. So I try to, provide much time as I can and commit to as much as I can, but I'm all about my clients first. I got clients, of course, Tanner knows, from East Boca, where we're at now, all the way to West Boca, and of course Boynton Beach. So I be having my hands full and being a family man. But on top of that, that's where the name Birdman comes from. It came from Little League football, and since elementary school, and it's stuck with me the whole way. Now, and the crazy thing is, this is what makes me seem so old. Thank God I look young. This is what made me seem so old. Before people called me Birdman, I was like second grade of elementary school.
Bird kid?
They used to call me Matrix.
Oh, Matrix?
Because I can hit all types of flips. Like, say somebody's trying to tackle me and I'm the ball carrier, I would literally flip over them and land on my feet and keep running. And then that switched from the Matrix to Birdman. That was about Birdman by the second grade. That was all she wrote. 32 years of living, and it's still Birdman to this day.
So 3 years ago today, you left a gym that you used to work for. Correct. How has your life changed by working for yourself and becoming an entrepreneur and just running on your schedule now?
All right, man. So that has been the biggest eye-opener. I discuss it with many people, old, young, that ask me this. And how that impacted my life, going from a 9-to-5 lifestyle to entrepreneur full-time lifestyle, it's big. And then I'm gonna tell you the number one for me, the number one thing for me that I can never go back, because now I have a little taste of it. The number one for me, coming from being an entrepreneur now, is freedom. A 9-to-5, you don't have that freedom. It's robotic. You're in a system. You're meant to be in a system. I mean, that's how the American eye trains most people to be in a 9-to-5 work base, 25 to 30 years, working a job, collect retirement benefits. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's hard to get rich as an employee on a 9-to-5. So you got to understand that it's truly hard to get rich working for somebody else, unless the CEO is your homeboy or homegirl. But when you an entrepreneur, you create your own business opportunities, and it has its ups and downs. And like I say, I got lucky. My best thing about me is I got lucky. I entered the field when it started booming. Like I said, the fitness and health and wellness industry, which is COVID and after. So, like say, my freedom has been the biggest thing, because I can get things done now that was no way possible I can do it working a 9-to-5. So the thing is to work smarter, not harder. That's the thing you want to do in life. Work smarter, not harder. And more than anything, I'll tell Tanner, all my students, everybody, is if you're not doing something you're passionate about, in love, it will be hard. It will be miserable kind of trying to make that income. It's like you're doing it because you got to stay afloat, but your passion when it's not there. I mean, and it's not just for, I mean, I met multimillionaires that they are in that $1 million bracket year after year, but they don't like how they're making their $1 million money. But it keeps them in that bracket. So I tell people most of anything, love what you do and turn your passion into an income, and you will never feel like you're working a day in your life. I kid you not. I can do this until I'm in the grave. And to be able to help people and see people grow, especially when you didn't see them a while and they come back and you see I see Tanner all different shapes and forms of body size. It's pretty cool. And you see him grow a couple inches, So I think that's the best blessing I get out of it, is to be able to help somebody meet their personal goals, whether it's just health or if you're an athlete, get that fitness goal down and what they're trying to do to basically be a winner. And that you want to carry that same aspect throughout life. Life is about winning. Your wins, no matter what you do, need to outweigh your L's. So that's something to definitely keep interested and keep it with you.
Throughout when I've known you, one of the biggest things I always admire is that no matter what is going on in your personal life, you're always smiling, you're always happy. How do you do it for people who just hate what they do, I guess, or people that just need advice on how to be more positive?
That is definitely key. So I've been asked that for so many people for so many really decades.
I've been asking you that whenever I train with you.
Yeah. So they ask, positive energy, and it's hard. I can only talk from the perspective of me, right? It's like I can give advice and hope it helps the next person, but to me, it's somebody taught me this. Luck is luck, but you can work on your luck. I mean, getting lucky is supposed to be just something out of the blue, but if you know that your luck can improve by small percentages, by little things you do as daily tasks, you can improve your luck every day. It's about being consistent. It's about creating positive energy, even when you might really be going through you might be going through a shithole. But you cannot show that. You cannot let the next person see that you're going through a shitty day, because your energy might help the next person. It might help them laugh. It might help them get through. I had it where me being me, even if I was going through something, the next day they'd be like, "Hey, Bird, I really appreciate you." It'd be my clients. It wasn't even about the workout. It was just about hanging and chilling. Yeah. I kid you not. I mean, that's the crazy thing about it. People just come with me just to hang and vibe. And it's not even all about fitness. Sometimes I do become, it's like, I'm not a therapist, but it seems like, I guess it works that people come around me. And that's how contagious positive energy is. I tell people, nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy. Even negative people don't like the negative Nancy, So, positive energy helps create your luck, no matter what you do, a little bit more. So it's like, me being negative, right? So Tanner's seen it, what I'm saying? I come from the hood, I grew up in the hood, but I survived, right? I have people, I'm 32. I can count probably on both hands. I know people that I grew up with or I played associated football with that are dead. They probably passed 10 years ago, 5 years ago, motorcycle accidents, four-wheeler accidents. I just lost another young man, probably 29, probably about a month ago. And it's it catches up with you. Like, so I have to cherish every moment while I'm here. It's like, I can be sad. Whatever your loss is, if it's not loss of life, you can make it back. You can get it back tenfold. Money, you can get that back. You lose it, you win it, cars, all these human materialistic things, whether you come from it or not, it can be earned, it can be created, but it starts with your outlook on life. If you have that outlook of life, like, all right, I'm gonna make something on myself, even if you're starting from scratch, but it starts with positive energy. It starts with being able to process that and put forth that. I mean, that is a great question that he asked me, because I get asked that on the daily. Old, young, they ask me, you have a vibrant, positive energy. And that helped create some of my luck of being able to do some of the things that I do.
That's also why you're a very good trainer, because some trainers just give you instructions and say, all right, go do it. But you stick with us. And the thing I love about you working out with you is that you're free anytime. I texted you. I started school around 7:30. I texted you, can we meet at the beach at 4:30 a.m.? You were there and you were smiling, wide awake. I love that about you, because you care about your clients so much.
Hey, that is very true. So like say, I think that's why I like that every kid should grow up playing some type of sport, because I feel like it gives the advantage that a student that just goes to school, they don't have the fact that, once it's extra discipline, and you carry that from that sport, the discipline and the harshness of the coaches and the structure they're trying to put on you. It's not just for that sport. It carries you through life. Like, when I was done football and I was done playing pro and I had to start the family life, and I still play football, by the way, don't get it twisted. I just do it recreationally for fun, which makes me crazy. But crazy can be good sometimes. But I do recreational football, but that structure from college to pro, high school, little league, you don't just use that in the game of your sport. You use that when you have to deal with the outside world, how to construct yourself. It teaches you about teamwork. When you work on somebody's job, you have to know how to do teamwork. That's mostly every single sport, besides maybe, I can't even say an individual sport, because even an individual sport like tennis, you have coaches, and that's still teamwork. So that's why I advise a lot of kids to get into sports, some type of extracurricular activity, because all that stuff does is prepare you for the real world. That's what's to come. And here's the big thing about life. A lot of people have to start or work something or do something in life that they don't want to do, right? And now it's up to you to what type of affirmative actions that you take, of how long you're doing that thing that you don't want to do. Maybe you game plan it. I'll do this for a few years. I'll do this for a few months until I get into position to get to the lifestyle I'm trying to accomplish. And like Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter, we do not speak his name. The last gym I went for, literally before I started being full-time entrepreneur in 2021, it taught me that, because I was so trusted that I had to run the show. There'll be times that person would leave, and that's the gym, I will be running it all by myself all day. So it taught me how to be the business aspect of it as well. So it prepped me. You do things in life and let it prep you until you're like, okay, I should be able to do this on my own now. And then you get put in a position when now you have to take that leap. And a lot of people got to understand about life. Don't ever, 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 ever be scared to fail. Because a lot of people be scared to fail, and that leads them not to try. But if you don't ever try, you will always have that what if hanging over your head. What if I would have did this? Or what if? And one thing you cannot get back is time. Understand, time is the most precious thing on this earth.
24/7.
That's right. 24/7.
Can you explain that though? Because when I used to train with you, you always like 24/7, 24/7. What does that mean?
All right. So if y'all don't know what 24/7 means, this is what it means. There's 24 hours in a day that you can use. All right. Like I tell them, I don't care if it's 11 a.m. at night. You can use that time before 12 o'clock hit to do something to elevate your life, whether it's fitness, read a book, do something positive, meditate, do something positive within 24. You have 24 hours every day before your time clock resets. And once that day passes, it's done. There's like, oh, that Monday, I should have did this and added that to my routine on Monday. Hey, it's Tuesday now. What can you do for Tuesday? So 24 hours in a day literally means just that. Every time 12 midnight hits, you have a new fresh 24 hours to make yourself 1% better, closer to a goal, 1% better to what you're trying to be in life. Is what you do with your 24 hours is so important. And that's what that means. That's why Tanner explains it. I post on my timelines, my story timelines on social media all the time, my daily activity. My social media is my diary. It's literally, that's what it is. My social media storyline is my diary. You see my daily activity. People even see it. My friends like, well, Bird, you're not even just fitness. You doing family activities all the time. You'll do family activities, then you'll come train your clients. So I mean, I'm type of guy. I don't have nothing to hide. Everything about me is always out in the open. You can literally see what I'm doing within those 24 hours, and that's why. But I always tell all my clients, hit me up if you need me, and I'll come. I'll do my best to come, especially if it's 4 a.m. in the morning. We're training 4 a.m. in the morning. It's 11 o'clock night. We have training 11 o'clock night. I have stories in my timeline, archives, that you see me training at these times. What you do with your 24 hours sets up what you can do for the rest of your life in a positive impact or a negative impact. But you have to keep chugging. Everything's not going to be perfect. Everything's not going to go according to plan. One of the most famous terms is a lot of people when they say get all your ducks in a row before you cross the road, most of the time you're not going to have all your ducks in a row. You're not have all your ducks lined up and everything prepped for you to cross to the next destination. Sometimes you got to take that leap of faith and cross with what you got. But guess what? Maybe all my ducks are not in line, but I have a starting point and I can work it from there. Because a lot of times people try to make everything so perfect. And okay, you're perfect when you were supposed to start something was 6 months ago. And it's still not perfect 6 months later, so you still haven't started. You don't get that time back. You have to jump out there. Don't be scared to be failed. Don't be scared to get laughed at. It's life. Everybody's a human, just like you're always, for the rest of your life, you're supposed to be learning something every day. I don't care if you're a senior citizen. They're still supposed to be learning something every day. That's what life is. It's a learning experience. But go ahead, Tanner.
Well, what would be the best way to motivate someone to get into working out or to get a healthier lifestyle? Like someone who just sits on the couch every day, is very lazy. What would be your best piece of advice to just get out there and find a goal?
And for me, the best piece of advice to motivate somebody to get off the couch, especially if they're unfit or not, or maybe they're not the healthiest person.
It doesn't even have to be just to work out, to have a healthier lifestyle.
Right. I would tell them, be observant. I tell everybody, always be observant of the world that you're living in, especially America. More so than America. The obesity rate, diabetes, the health issues that exist in America that are in your face. Don't think that, hey, that won't be me. Like, that's a lot of people that happen. A lot of people wake up thinking, oh, that's not going to be me. And boom, one day you get that doctor report, hey, you have type 1 diabetes. And now you're shook. Now you can do something about it, or you can worry yourself and stress yourself, because that's still curable. A lot of people, I know a lot of people that don't think diabetes, they think it's the end of the world, but that's a curable thing. Some things, other than cancer is always a tough topic, but I heard it's curable. I'm just saying, I'm not an expert. I heard it's curable, but cancer is always a tough topic for some. But the better you do to your eating habits, what you put into your system, and of course, fitness. It don't have to be nothing strenuous. It can be just daily walks. I mean, I know more than anybody. I know that Tanner Dad knows about that. Nothing strenuous, but just sometimes just what you eat, what you put what you put in your body is big. They say it was 80% nutrition, 20% workout. And me being a fitness, I'll say that it is close to being mostly accurate. It might be, in my eyes, maybe 70% nutrition and 30% workout, but nutrition plays a big part. So either way, that scale is very, in my eyes, very accurate. But to get off, look at the world around you. Be observant. For people that want to get started, like I said, if you don't get started after what just happened, what COVID just showed, nothing's gonna get you motivated. I mean, COVID, you lost people. Some people didn't even make it. I mean, if that is not the biggest motivation for health and wellness, then I can't tell you what is, because we never been through nothing like that.
I feel like that people get off their butt and work out and have a healthier lifestyle once they have a big wake up call that hits them. But that's like really the only big thing that could change their lifestyle. Like my dad, he got COVID and he almost died. He got put on the oxygen tank, and it was all bad. And now he's eating better. He lost a lot of weight. I just feel like people don't change until they have that wake up call.
And that is a very true statement, what you said. Seeing some of the influencers I follow on Instagram. One of them,
Kai?
He talks. It's not Kai. I gotta look up his name. I literally saw him again. I think he started with a T. I want to say tilapia, but I want to make sure I say it right. But he posted something that, like what you're just talking about, along the same lines. Once somebody's about 25 years of age, it's hard for them to change their ways of who they are. That means they mostly are set in their ways. And for order for somebody that's 25 or older to change their ways, they have to go through a traumatic life experience and, a near-death experience. Maybe somebody close to them has passed away. Something very traumatic for them, like, holy shit, I need to get out my own head and wake up, because this is real. And
have you had that experience?
Let me see. For a situation for me having that experience, I would say I had some experiences, where I think because I naturally push myself, and I look at people around. I'm gonna teach y'all something, right? I'm gonna teach y'all something right now. Another cheat code of life. I'm gonna give you a lot of game today. All right, a lot of cheat codes in life. I do this all the time. So I tell people as a male, or maybe as a woman, I gotta talk from a male perspective because I'm a male. I can't really speak for women. It might be a little different. But I tell people as a male, if you can control yourself, from what I grew up seeing and what is present today, I call them the 4 sins, right? We call it the 4 sins. If you can be ahead of the curve of the 4 sins, you should be pretty prosperous in life, right? Or can be pretty prosperous in life. So here's the 4 sins. I call it gambling. Gambling, dealing with money. We see how big that is in America. It plays sports bets. Any little thing can be gambling. But, that's a big risk with gambling. You know what I mean? You can lose big, win big. But if you can control gambling, I don't gamble. So I'm going to use me as a prime example. Gambling, boom. That's out the way. I don't gamble, really. I mean, I never have. 2, alcohol. If you can control alcohol. Alcohol has, it creates a lot, especially for guys. How many guys you see that if it's a baby shower and they're the one that's pregnant? Because all the sugars that alcohol and wine and, all beer, all that, it's a lot of sugar. Especially if you're not detoxing it on a regular. Think about, how many, I know a couple athletes, you see their stories, got drunk, jumped in their car, drove off in their Corvette, maybe a Ferrari, hit somebody and killed them. That was one of the stories with one of the Alabama athletes that just made it pro the first 2 years. And he jumped in his car drunk, hitting in his core, I think it was a Corvette, 110 miles, 120, just shooting like 2 a.m. in the morning. Boom, hit somebody else. He survived, but killed the other person. Alcohol. You know what I'm saying? People try to make decisions. Like if you're drunk, get an Uber. Or if you can avoid it, you see the health issues, the pot bellies, the bad decision makings. It happens. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm in control of my alcohol. And how long are you in control? So that's 2. Here comes I call it smoking and drugs. Depend on what you're smoking. And other narcotics. You already know how that could turn out. Especially down here in I want to say Boca, Delray, Boynton Beach, the neighboring down south cities. We have one of the biggest rehab facilities down here in South Florida. A lot of people from up north come down here to rehab, and it don't make them no better because you just brought them to a party land. So I don't know, but this is a big South Florida is a big place for rehabbing people that get hooked on drugs. And sometimes, I mean, look up the overdose rate. That's what I'm saying. Look up overdose for drugs. How many people have lost their lives from overdosing? And they probably thought that they were in control. And the final one, that's 3. The final one, but at least, you know what I'm saying, is, I wouldn't say sexuality, but hormones, right? Sexuality, hormones, humping. All right. So I have seen so many stories, time to this day. How many times does, I know you've probably seen it, as guys that, you know, if something crazy happens, and even if you're not wrong, how many times have you seen that athletes, or you don't have to be an athlete, they get cased up? And it might be, but maybe the female lied. You know, maybe it's not fully true. Maybe she gave consent, but the story is different when she told her parents or the cops. I see it over 1,000 times. And now you're in this whole, I have a close friend of mine I treat like a brother who just now beat a case last night. And it's been going on for over a year. So, and he's innocent, but just because somebody might choose to tell a lie or fabricate a story, now you're in this whole mess. I see it over 1,000 times with different people, especially for guys. So if you can control those 4 things, sexuality, drugs and narcotics, alcoholism, and of course gambling, those are the most, I call them my 4 sins. Those are the most things I see people get in trouble for. Those are the most 4 things I see people lose their life for. I mean, this is just me observing the world around me. That's the most that they promote it on TV all the time. Drink responsibly. What does that mean? you know, well, like what does that really mean? Like you drink responsibly, or don't drink at all. So, I mean, if you can put all this in perspective, if you can be ahead of the curve on those 4 things, and I apply these things to my own life. Like those 4 things, of course, if you haven't known, I don't do none of it. I never have, because I've always been the focused athlete. And that's why I still play recreational tackle football to this day at 32, just for fun, for shits and giggles. but you know, I think that what got me ahead of the curve, if you can get ahead of those 4 things or be in control, that's, you know, those are 4 things that are promoted heavy on social media, on TV. But if you can kind of get ahead of those 4 things and be in control of those 4 things throughout your life, you have a pretty good chance of living long and having a prosperous life. Some things we can't control, like, you know, we getting hit by a car out the blue, but it's not our fault. You know, some things you can't control, but the things that you can control, you want to be able to get ahead of. And those are my 4 things. I feel like people, if they can control those, guys, I can't speak for girls. I'm not a lady. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not a lady. But for guys, I know if you can, with the gambling, the sexuality, you know, hormones, you know, humping, whatever you want to call it, with smoking and narcotics and alcohol, if you can get afford of those 4 things, you should be able to you should be pretty focused, like to focus to whatever these goals are. Literally, I seen in my lifetime, I know people personally that I grew up with. The reason why they're not prosperous or they're stuck in a internal loop of being in the same area, not really progressing, is because how bad do they want to kick their habits down the drain before they can move forward in life? And that is for a lot of people, that's the hardest thing to do. Whatever that habit they might be going through, whatever that little demon they might be fighting, to kick that habit in the butt before they can elevate. I mean, I see it all the time.
Yeah. What is your biggest goals that you're chasing after right now?
What is you say my fitness goal?
Your biggest goals that you're chasing after right now.
Biggest goal. Since I live in the now, I'm a pretty simple person. A self goal for me. Let's talk about a self goal for me. One was to now, even though don't judge me, even though I'm a fitness guy, I was the Kool-Aid guy. I was a juice drinker, right? I mean, I know the body's 70% water. I was probably 80% Kool-Aid. I drink a lot of juice. But my client, it's crazy. Clients that I have that are doctors say, Bird, put that crap down. And they'll give me because I need flavor. That's one thing. I need a little flavor in my life. Sometimes if it's sports, I can drink it while I'm playing sports. Of course, you don't think about it. But just say, hey, give me a bottle of water. No, hey, can I get some tea? Hey, can I get some Powerade? I mean, so one of my clients literally brought me a pitcher where I can fill it up with fruits and sit the fruits in the water and let the fruits absorb into the water, and it has taste, it has flavor, so I don't feel like I'm just drinking plain water all day, and it's working. That's been one of my biggest goals for 2024. To
stop drinking Kool-Aid.
Meaning juices. I like I said, I always drunk a lot of juice. Arizona's. Oh man, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, I was, if you say, let's talk about demons, like I just talked about, that would be my demon is juice, all the sugars. Only reason I don't look like it is because I have a chance. I work out every day, to detox that stuff out my system. But if I can kind of just slowly decrease that to a minimum as possible, I'll be a lot better person. So that's one of the goals for me, 2024. Another one was I'm trying to lift 100-pound dumbbells over my head.
Yeah, so he won't stop telling me about that.
Yeah, I mean that's my goal. Like I always been a guy. People look at me, they see me throw up 315 pounds on a bench bar, and of course they're like, "Oh, you're pretty strong." But I kind of, even as a fitness guy, I really start to touch the dumbbells now. Because I always seen people lift, and I was like, you lifting these dumbbells, or what's the difference between the bar and the dumbbells? And there is a difference because you have to control it with each individual arm. And to be sitting straight up like this and just to take 100-pound dumbbells and lift them over your head, you're a pretty strong guy. So I'm trying to work on it, even myself as a trainer, I'm trying to work on being a strong guy, or if I can be a stronger guy. So that's one of my 2024 goals. Just to be able to lift 100-pound dumbbells underneath my head. Other than that, people like think about financial goals. I don't really have too many financial goals. I mean, when I say too many, mine is really just based off helping people. I'll try to whoever reaches out to me. Of course, my clientele is definitely big referral base. I try to help any and everybody. And that's literally what any and everybody I try to help, because somebody is looking for that help, an answer to their problems, and you could be their solution. Rich, poor, middle class, you could be their solution, and whatever advice you may give, So, I mean, that's why if I can help somebody even with some knowledge, I try to give it. If I can help somebody with some, my area of expertise, which is fitness and health and wellness, I try to give it best as possible. Because you never know who life you can change around. The best feeling is, like, say, I'm since 2021. What is that, 10 or 3 years into the game of entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
So within these 3 years, I can literally pull up my phone right now. I have so many people always thanking me. Within these 3 years, oh my God, Bird, that workout you taught me, it changed my life. I lost so much weight.
How do you come up with all these creative workouts?
Now, besides being a creative person myself, just thinking outside the box. I always feel like you got to think outside the box to not be in it. And that's why I feel like God put me in a position around other people. He put me in a position around other people that were different. Even the name that we don't speak about, the last guy I work about, he was different. He's very good at his craft. Don't get it wrong. It's just, he goes to his stuff he got to handle. And I took a piece of his repertoire and added it to what I do. Because he does things out the box as well. He's just a jackass. But besides that, Besides that, I met other people along in my lifetime. I met other people in my lifetime that were different. I think that was my main luck is I met these extraordinary people that were mouth dropping and they were willing to teach me things because they see I had a can do attitude and I would never quit. Even if I was doing it wrong, people understand. I tell people all the time, as long as you're consistent, one thing you better understand about life is even if nobody don't approach you, people are always watching. When I train clients in LA Fitness, I'm not even a trainer at LA Fitness. I kid you not, people after maybe 3 weeks, a month, 5 days, somebody always comes up to me. It's like, hey, I've been watching you. And usually it's them watching me train a client and say and tell me about my craft and my energy that just, and they, people are always watching you. So I tell, as soon as you leave your house, whatever negativeness is going on, don't leave out that house carrying that negativity around. I mean, it could be a really crappy day, but try your best not to show it because you don't know, this might be a day you meet a billionaire and he really likes you just because the energy you're giving off. I kid you not. That just might be the day, and it might be the day that you're having a crappy day before your day even gets started. It's all about perspective. That's had to be my biggest thing in life is the people I met, and they were different. All of them wasn't all positive. Some had some negative traits, but I was able to learn from that, and I was able to take a piece of them and add it to my game to better my game. That, and then besides, some of the workouts I've been doing forever since I was in like middle school, like have y'all run the hill, hill workouts, even the stair workouts. The stairs came from when I was a college track athlete, and when I was at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, that was part of our workouts. We had to run the stairs at Jackie Robinson Stadium, and all I did is on my spring break and all the summer breaks, I came home, I practiced what they taught me, and that's what I have y'all do now, right? So you can learn something from anybody. Like how Tanner told me, it's been a time where I haven't seen him for maybe a couple months. Maybe I think one time it was almost a year. But he was using things I taught him to keep himself in shape and keep himself going. And that's what life is about. You're supposed to use the information that you gather from somebody else to better oneself. And you do that for the rest of your life. You never know how vital that information can be that somebody's teaching you or for what you've seen.
What does your brand Live Through Me Fitness mean? Because I keep seeing it on your shirt. What does it mean?
So, like I said, you see right here, the heart, Live Through Me Fitness, and right beneath Live Through Me Fitness is the word.
I'll put up a picture of the image on your
definitely.
Screen. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. And beneath that is livelihood. For those who don't know what livelihood is, that's basically your everything. Your livelihood is your everything. That's whether you're doing good or bad in the state that you are in at the current time. So your livelihood, that's very important. Live Through Me Fitness, again, just from me telling you everything I'm telling you about me. So I made it something where it's generational. So Live Through Me Fitness, it started with me and people that was older than me teaching me the game. And sometimes you don't always learn from people that's older. Even I learned from people that's younger than me. But they teach me the game, and I told you, and I added to my repertoire. And now all of this, as like Tanner's a great example, I teach it to him. And some Tanner probably did that he learned from me, he'll teach to the next person, a friend, a little brother, mom, dad, he teaches to them. And then that person that learned it from Tanner can take it and teach it to somebody else. And it started, like say, as a base. And it traveled. Live through me. And that's the term. Something you probably learned from me, traveled from you, you taught it to somebody else, and it helped these people along the way in whatever aspect it needed to help. So the term Live Through Me Fitness is exactly what I'm explaining now. it becomes generational. I have had within my 3 years of being an entrepreneur, man, one of my clients, that I helped out, she was able to become a Coast Guard. And she was so happy because she was trying to lose weight so bad. I had some pretty insane workouts. Like, I make people run in the middle of summer with sauna suits on during beach runs. If you have to shred weight, but I know it works because how I put myself through it. But that's the term. I would never put you through something I haven't done myself. That would never happen. So everything we're doing is from experience of me. And when she ended up finally making the Coast Guard, she was so happy and cheerful and crying. And I seen her process of really fighting. A lot of my clients, you have some that want it more than others, but it's the process of how bad do you want to be successful at what you're trying to be. And man, they be like, Bird, I really thank you because if you didn't show, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I don't know if you call that the most rewarding part for me. I'm just happy I was able to help, somebody get to where they need to be in life or a piece of their life, until they create their own next story. And that's literally no better feeling for me. It's like, dang, this person just told me because of this, that's something I showed them or something we went through together. Now they're here in life. And it's not just the physical part. It's also their mentality. Their mentality is what we went through, sharpen them to handle whatever they got to go handle out there in the world that they're about to be in. So, I mean, to me, it's a journey. Life is a journey. I tell people that you start at the letter A, and at the end of that A, it's of course it's Z. But before you get to Z, you gotta go to B, C, D, E, F, G, and the B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That is your process. The people always want to see your ending and your reward, but the most gratifying part of it has to be the process. The B, the C, the D, the E, H, A. It has to be the most rewarding to you because only you or maybe a few others know what it took. That dang, I seen this person here, and now look at him now. Look at everything he put in. He's now reaping the benefits of as he's at the end of that reward at letter Z, and as he still continue to grow.
Thank you so much for coming on. I learned a lot from this podcast, all your great quotes and advice.
That's what I'm here for. Live through me fitness, baby. 24-hour fitness.
You want to shout anybody out for anything out, your brand?
Well, like always, first shout out goes to the Tavaris family. Tanner's a lovely family. Like I said, they're OGs in this. That's what I'm saying. They're OGs in my process. They were there before me, before I was even this. And the sad part about it, they still haven't got their merchandise. I'm sorry. But they will get their merchandise. Believe in me. Believe in me. I promise y'all will get y'all merchandise. And when y'all get it, y'all will love it. It's just me playing catch up with myself as I run around. And I'm a busy man myself between fitness and coaching and also, of course, being a family man. But I would like to thank Tanner for inviting me on this podcast. This is my first podcast, by the way. I appreciate it. And if you just can take anything in, I know I said a lot within this time frame, but just remember positivity. And if you can get ahead of those 4 things we talked about, you should turn out pretty all right in life. I mean, like I said, even though I'm 32, I've seen a lot of things from both perspectives. So that's what I recognize, and I was taught with game. It was stuff I recognize. So if you don't have to go left and somebody told you go right, because right will lead you to a better path, choose right and don't go left. But sometimes people like to tempt to go left and have to learn the hard way. And sometimes the hard way, life can be lifing. I'll end it like that. Life can be lifing sometimes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right. Definitely. Peace out.